you've been struggling to lose fat, then by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why and exactly what you need to do in order to burn that fat off. In this video, I'm going to share with you the program I use with my clients to get them in shape fast. But first, let's count down those 5 fat loss truths that have kept you struggling to lose fat. Number 5 is cardio. That's right, cardio is keeping you from dropping fat. Too much cardio is going to raise your cortisol levels and make your body hold on to fat. Cardio burns a lot less calories than other exercises like strength training. The 4th is that you have low muscle mass, and that's especially true for us women because we start out with less muscle mass to begin with, and that's also why men have an easier job of losing fat because their metabolisms are already faster due to the fact that they have more muscle. The 3rd fat loss truth that's keeping you from dropping body fat is the bulky muscle myth. That means you're so afraid of getting bulky muscles from lifting weights that you do exercises that are just body weight, no weight, or very, very light weight, and neither of those things are going to impact your metabolism. Truth number 2 is that you choose the wrong exercises, such as working the inner thigh or doing the outer thigh machine or even training small body parts are not going to change your body. And the number 1 reason why you struggle with losing fat is that you've got the wrong training program. You might be doing strength training, but you're not training for strength, and that's the problem. Wait, what? In order to metabolize fat and turn your body into a fat-burning machine, there's specific exercises you need to do, and there's specific training methods you need to do as well, along with proper nutrition. More on that in a second, but first, here's why you're struggling to lose that body fat. You see, when you start an exercise program, your body starts to drop weight, and that's great, but if you're not doing the right program, you're going to be losing muscle. And this means your metabolism gets slower. Your body will actually start to gain fat because of that lower metabolism. And that's why so few people actually get in shape. They keep going over and over the same cycle, and each time they lose a little bit of weight, then they gain it back. Then that cycle continues. They're ruining their metabolism. Oh. And eventually they just give up. And you know what? They don't have to give up. They just have to do the right exercises and the right training methods. So instead of focusing on the scale, you need to focus on strength. I'm going to spell out that whole training protocol for you. But first, let me ask you something. Imagine how you would feel if you dropped 4 pounds of belly fat and back fat. You'd be like a totally new person, wouldn't you? But what if those 4 inches only coordinated with 1.2 pounds? I know you're thinking 1.2 pounds, where did you come up with this abstract number? Well, there was actually a study done in the International Journal of Obesity, and those 4 inches only coordinated with 1.2 pounds on the scales. So 1 pound on the scale, or 1.2 pounds, is not nearly the same as 4 inches off your whole midsection. And this particular study, that is where the weight came off. It was actually in the abdominal region. And that study showed that you can have what you want. You can have lean muscle, you can have body fat reduction, without much difference on the scale. The first thing that you think of when you think of strength training program is what exercises. Well, we can pick different exercises, but more importantly, what weight are you going to use? So in order to know what type of weight is going to challenge you, you want to go between 65 and 80% of your 1 rep maximum. Now I know you're probably thinking, I don't know what my 1 rep max is. How am I going to figure that out? You're going to use a 1 rep max calculator, of course. And I have one on my website, so I'll put a link to that. And it's simple. All you need to do is know the weight and repetitions you do for a simple exercise. You put the numbers in, and boom, you get your answer. What your 1 rep max is. Cut it in half and say that's a good warm-up weight. That would be 50% of your 1 rep max. And that's not in the strength gaining range of 65 to 85. However, you've got to warm up at least 1 or 2 sets to get to what we call your working weight. That's the weight that you're going to be really pushing to gain strength with. You'll be shooting for 5 to 8 repetitions. And if the weight is easy and you get to 8 repetitions, or maybe it's not a real challenge at 8 repetitions, then you increase that weight and shoot for at least 5 repetitions. If you can get 5 repetitions with that next heavier weight, then you continue to use that until you can get 8 repetitions. And that weight should be challenging. You should be working really hard, but with proper form. Now, when it comes to the number of sets, there's actually been studies that show that more volume is better for strength. So don't be afraid of doing multiple sets. Now, if you're a beginner, you're only going to do maybe 2 or 3 sets at the most. If you're intermediate, then maybe 4 or 5. And if you're advanced, you're probably shooting for 6 to 8 sets. So when we're talking about sets, remember that you want to have at least 1 or 2 sets that are warm-up. That's preparing your body for the exercise it's about to do. And that doesn't mean you burn yourself out on those 2 warm-up sets. If your repetition range is 5 to 8, then your warm-up sets are going to be about 5 or 6 repetitions. You're not trying to go to failure on your warm-up sets. Now, when it comes to rest, normally if you're going for extreme strength like powerlifting, they're going to rest 2 to 3 minutes between sets. But since we're looking more to optimize body fat, you're only going to rest about 60 seconds between your sets. So by the time you start to recover a little bit, you're going to be jumping right back into it. So a quick summary here, you're going to be shooting for 65 to 85% of your 1 rep max, which you're going to use the calculator on my website to figure out. Then you're going to be doing 5 to 8 repetitions on these particular exercises. And then you're going to be doing anywhere from 4 to 8 sets depending on your level of experience. You're only going to rest about 60 seconds between each set, and you're going to keep a log of what you're doing, because that way you'll know when you go to the gym, you did 6 repetitions last time with this weight. Let's see if I can get 7 or 8 or whatever. You've got to track your progress. Otherwise, you're going to be starting from the beginning again each time you go to do the workout. Now, as far as what exercises to do, if you're a beginner, go watch my Fitness 101 video, and that's going to tell you exactly what exercises to start with. If you're advanced, go watch the only 3 exercises you need to transform your body, and that's going to show you the right exercise to focus on. Okay, so there's just 2 simple steps you have to follow to get started. The first one is go watch the videos to pick out your exercises, and the second one is start prioritizing training for strength. Do it first. If you're still going to do cardio, do your weights first, then do cardio. So if you have any injuries that prevent you from doing certain exercises, leave that in the comments, and that way I can discuss it and do a video on it to help you out.